Buckle up, phantoms, sweet transvestites, and anyone ready to do the time warp again and again. And hell, let's do it one more. Get ready as we dive into this outrageous, hilarious, and undeniably iconic Rocky Horror Show. Now, the Rocky Horror Show is a musical with music, lyrics, and a book by Richard O'Brien. The musical is a humorous tribute to the science fiction and horror B movies of the 1930s through the early 1960s. It basically tells the story of a newly engaged couple getting caught in a storm and coming to the home of a mad transvestite scientist, Dr. Frankenfurter, who is unveiling his newest creation, Rocky, a sort of Frankenstein style monster in the form of an artificially made, fully grown, physically perfect muscle man, complete with blonde hair and a tan. So, I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey. So it was the 1970s. Richard O'Brien, an out of work actor in London, was writing a musical to keep himself busy on winter evenings. Now, since his youth, he had developed a passion for science fiction and B horror movies, and he wanted to combine elements of the unintentional humor of B horror movies, pretentious dialogue of schlock horror, Steve Reeves muscle films, and 50s rock and roll into a musical that would forever be known as The Rocky Horror Show. Now, a major theme running through the show is transvestism, which, according to Richard, was not originally meant to be as prominent as it ended up being. He conceived and wrote the play set against the backdrop of the glam era that had manifested itself throughout British popular culture in the early 1970s. Now, faced with possible uncertainty, Richard took a small amount of his unfinished Rocky Horror to Australian director Jim Sharman, who decided he wanted to direct it at the small experimental space upstairs at the Royal Court Theatre in London. Now, fun fact, future star Tim Curry first saw Richard O'Brien off Baker Street, and he said he'd just been to the gym to see if he could find a muscle man who could sing. Now, when Tim asked, well, why do you need him to sing? Richard laughed and said, because my musical is finally going to be created. Now, when Tim Curry finally read the script, that's when he basically said, oh boy, if this works, it's going to be a smash. Well, 51 years later, Tim, the Rocky Horror Show is more than a smash hit. It's become a cult phenomenon. Now, in June of 1973, the musical As They Knew It opened at the Royal Court 63-seat theater without an intermission. The cast would star Tim Curry, who had decided that Dr. Frankenfurter should not just be a queen, he should speak like the damn Queen of England, extravagantly posh. Along with him, there was Irish actress and singer Patricia Quinn, English singer and actress Julie Covington, and the creator himself, Richard O'Brien. Now, that night, the musical became a creative triumph and a commercial success. A reviewer of the premiere for The Guardian wrote, the Rocky Horror Show achieves the rare feat of being witty and erotic at the same time, and Curry gives a garishly Bowie-esque performance as the ambidextrous Dr. Frankenfurter. Now, in August of 1973, the impact at the Royal Court allowed the production to be transferred to the 230-seat Chelsea Classic Cinema. By November of 1973, Rocky Horror would make its semi-permanent home at the 500-seat Kings Road Theatre, which is a few blocks down from the Chelsea. And in April of 1979, the show would transfer to the Comedy Theatre, which today is known as the Harold Pinter Theatre. At this new venue, Rocky Horror required some restaging, for the Comedy was the first theater at which the musical had played that possessed a traditional proscenium arch stage. And for the first time, the musical was also broken into two acts with an intermission. Now, backing up a bit, in the late winter of 1973, American record and film producer Lou Adler happened to attend a performance of the musical in London. Now, acting on impulse and seeing a dramatic hit, he met backstage with producers and within 36 hours had secured the American theatrical rights to the Rocky Horror Show. And by March of 1974, the musical would open on the Sunset Strip at the Roxy Theater, running for 9 months. The cast was completely changed with the exception of Tim Curry, who transferred to the US to continue the run. This new cast also starred Abigail Hannis, Bill Miller, Bruce Scott, Jamie Donnelly, Bonnie Enton, former American rock singer Meatloaf, singer-songwriter Kim Milford, and Canadian character actor Graham Jarvis. The show played to a full house that night, and a deal was actually made with 20th Century Fox for a film, with Fox's executive Gordon Stolberg agreeing to invest $1 million in the project after seeing the show that night at the Roxy. Now, in April 1974, the production actually opened in Sydney, Australia at the New Arts Cinema, starring Australian actor, singer, and director Reg Livermore, television, film, and theater actress Kate Fitzpatrick, Jane Harders, John Paramore, Graham Matters, and Maureen Elkner. After an 18-month run in Sydney, the show transferred to Melbourne at the Regent Palace Theatre in October of 1975, running for 458 performances. By March of 1975, the Rocky Horror Show opened on Broadway at the Belasco Theater, with the anticipation that the production would be as successful as Jesus Christ Superstar, serving as a public vehicle for the film version. Unfortunately, when this anticipation proved to be anything but, the production actually closed after 45 performances. Now, it wasn't until April of 1979 when the West End would see its first revival at the 820-seat Comedy Theater, running for 2,960 performances. The musical would be revived on tour in 1984 at the Theatre Royal, still performing regularly in the UK today. Now, fun fact number two. Notable celebrities who have since played roles in the West End's cast of Rocky Horror include English songwriter Daniel Abineri, Scottish actor Peter Blake, Tim McInnerny, actor and singer Anthony Head, former British competitive figure skater Robin Cousins, Jason Donovan, singer and television presenter Jonathan Wilkes, New Zealand-born British actress Gina Bellman, English musician and actor Edward Tudor Pole, Scottish-American comedian and host of The Late Late Show, Craig Ferguson, actor, comedian, and musician Adrian Edmondson, three-time Olivier Award winner David Badella, and singer, actress, and voiceover artist Kate O'Sullivan. Now, in 2000, Broadway had a longer second revival at the Circle in the Square Theater, starring Tom Hewitt, Tony Award winner Alice Ripley, Tony Award winner Jared Emick, Tony Award winner Raul Esparza, American rock singer and songwriter Joan Jett, Orange is the New Black's Leah Delaria, and singer-songwriter and actress Daphne Rubin Vega. Now, in 2006, a charity concert was performed to raise money for Amnesty International, staged at the Royal Court Theatre, where the Rocky Horror Show originally opened in 1973. The cast at that time featured two-time Olivier Award winner Michael Ball, Anthony Head, Adrian Edmondson, Irish co-lead singer of the pop group Boyzone, Stephen Gately, EastEnders soap actress Sophie Lawrence, actor, singer, and choreographer Craig Thornburg, 40-year career actress Toya Wilcox, stage and television actor Ben Richards, and the original 1973 cast member Patricia Quinn. Now, by October of 2010, American filmmaker Kenny Ortega directed a benefit performance of Rocky Horror to celebrate the musical's 35th anniversary at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. The cast featured Australian actor and former model Julian McMahon, Matthew Morrison, Glee star Leah Michelle, singer-songwriter and former member of the pop group The Pussycat Dolls, Nicole Scherzinger, three-time Primetime Emmy Award winner nominee Evan Rachel Wood, High School Musical's Lucas Grabeel, NBC's The Office star Melora Hardin, actor-comedian George Garcia, stand-up comedian George Lopez, five-decade career actor Jack Nicholson, and finally actor and filmmaker Danny DeVito. In December of 2012, to celebrate the show's 40th anniversary, a new production of the Rocky Horror Show began a year-long UK tour starring Welsh stage actor and singer Oliver Thornton, ITV's 2012 Superstar winner Ben Forster, Emmerdale soap actress Roxanne Pallett, and Welsh theater performer whose rise to fame in Series 4 of The X Factor, Rydian Roberts. Since its inception, the Rocky Horror Show has played in over 16 countries and is also widely hailed along other experimental theater works such as Hair to have basically been an influence on the counterculture and sexual liberation movements that followed on from the 1960s. All right, gang, this exploration of the Rocky Horror Show has been a wild ride. Join us again soon for another captivating journey into the world of musicals and the stories they tell. Until then, remember, guys, don't dream it, be it.